The traditional lands of the Duwamish are located in the watershed of the Duwamish River. So it also included some Shilsho Bay down to Auburn. It's a big watershed here, which includes both lakes and rivers, which then became the highways of communication and transportation. This luscious forest was so thick that it was hard to get through it. So the real way to get around, the quick way, was to go by water. Each canoe was specialized for a special purpose. Here we have a river canoe. This is a stub-nosed canoe, very thick, very heavy, very cumbersome, but tough as nails. And this is what they would use to go up the river. They would paddle up the river in the deep water, and then when they got up in the shallow water where they could harpoon salmon migrating upstream, somebody would stand in the back of the boat with these poles and hold it in position, maybe against a rock or something, and then the other fellow, fisherman, would stand in the front of the bow with his salmon spear and spear salmon as they go by. So this could go through very shallow water, and it could take a real beating against the rocks. They had a real thin canoe for trolling. You want to move fast if you're trolling in a lake. They had a children's canoe that children learned to paddle a canoe, navigate a canoe. At the other extreme was the ocean-going canoe, or sometimes called the war canoe, or the cargo canoe. This could haul a couple tons of materials, resources, and it also was very buoyant. You know, it's long enough that the tides or the waves keep this always going into the waves. The Americans, white man, had short, squatty ones, sometimes 2 to 3 times as long as it was wide. Well, you see, this is several times longer than it is wide. This way, the waves keep it in line, keep batting it in, so they're always headed in the waves. And this was enough to ride over the high waves, and that's why you have this for, like, if you go in Lake Washington or Puget Sound, where you get a lot of wind and waves, you want to have a high bow. And then this was also made it buoyancy enough that if it filled with water, it wouldn't sink because you have enough wood above it to float it. Very light, but this was very time-consuming to produce because you had to hollow it out, and they would get down to about 2 inches thick or less. They would drill holes in and put plugs in, and then they would keep chipping away with their adze until they got down to those plugs, and then you went to stop.